Today we are going to have a session about how to start up and run your firm successfully. As far as the profession of architecture is concerned, it's very important term today. So we are about to go into the session. We have our guest speaker, Architect Shivaraman. Uh, hope everybody is listening. Am I right? Some of you can raise your hands by showing that. Prabhu sir, is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
okay.
yeah. Just I'm going to introduce Architect Shivaraman. He born in Madras and he did his primary and high school from Montfort and Sansom Higher Secondary School and Sethu Bhaskara School also. He raised by a single mom, Mrs. Dhanlakshmi. He is having his elder brother, Mr. Janaki Raman. He is a physiotherapist practicing in Dublin. He is married to Saranya Krishnan. It's almost like 8 years over for them. They have two kids, Sara Sivaraman and Dhiran Sivaraman. He done his bachelor's from Theological College of Engineering, Madurai, and the master's from environment from Nottingham University, UK. And his specialization is environmental design. Before he started his profession in architecture and design, he worked in a supermarket in London as a customer service assistant, and then he went to become a supervisor in the same supermarket within 3 months. So it's a growth within a short time. This was during the global recession started in 2008. 2008, the real estate development had faced a tremendous recession. Many people gone lost their jobs and projects has been hold, and it's worse than what is now the pandemic situation was. Yeah. So many people from abroad they become jobless and they came back to India, and many things happened at that time. So he owes his capability to build and lead large teams to that supermarket experience when he was only 22-year old and had to manage almost 20 employees. Those, I mean, his colleagues basically, but all of them are from various ethnics and cultural backgrounds. Further, he got a temporary job as a Photoshop editor in an intern design firm in London, and he delivered his best and ensured he was offered a permanent job as an architect in the same firm and worked there for 3 years before moving back to India in 2011. So his journey is something like he managed his skills and abilities developed through management, training where he done most probably, and within a short term, he developed his career in each and every field. He has a rich blend of international collaborate and residential design experience, along with a strong focus on environmental and green design practices. Some of the renowned firms he worked in the past are IWA London, Ong and Ong Chennai, L&T Chennai, Sankalpan Architects Mumbai, Design Cube Architects Chennai, and he did his internship in Studio 9491 Delhi and Carvin Designs Madurai. Architect Sivaraman is the founder and designated partner of Space Mush, a firm that specializes in designing of small spaces. He has designed more than 300 projects in his 13 plus years of experience, belonging to various geographical locations, typologies, and sizes. He has also been the architect for a couple of SGBC lead silver rated buildings. He believed that every space deserves design, especially the smallest ones, and that functional design is the first step for making a space work well for its users. Apart from his design skills, he has been taking care of overall business growth, operations, finance, and accounts as CEO of one of the leading firms in Chennai and has been there for more than 8 years since it was a startup till it becomes an established name in the industry. Now, Design Cube is having various branches in many cities and many states. He also is the founder of B Hub, a startup hub for architects and designers, which is a platform to mentor young startups in running the design practice successfully. The hub guides the members in doing the business of architecture and interior design in the most ethical and profitable way possible. So this is what is the initiative, and through that only I just came to know, and I invited him for this delivering this lecture, and he also accepted. I graciously appreciate him. His vision is to make sure he transfers the business knowledge he has gained from his various experiences to as many architects and designers as possible so as to make them run their own practice successfully. He believes that instead of giving a fish to a hungry person, teaching him or uh, give him to do, I mean, the talent how the fishing uh, can be done. So this will be fed for his entire lifetime. So he is a passionate dancer, and he is the Parayatam learner, and he has been performing it with a small troupe for the last 3 years in various socio-political and cultural events. He is the social activities, and he involved in many what to say, like you can say, like it's revolutionary movements. He is part of many revolutionary movements of Tamil Nadu. He is a fan of MS Dhoni's leadership skills, and finally he considers Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar as his mentor and guide in his professional and social life. So this is about his intro, a short intro about him. But still, I think I covered almost everything, Shivaraman. Now, Shivaraman, is over to you. Please address the young minds and the people who try to start up a firm successfully, how to run about it. And please share your experience along with us. Yeah. Thank you, Shivaraman, for joining with us. Please continue. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Uma Chakravarti, for the wonderful intro. And good morning, everyone. And hope you are all having a great day. I just want to ensure if my screen is visible. If few of you can type in the chat box, yes, it's visible, it will be great. Is my screen visible? Okay. Thank you guys. And once again, thank you, Uma sir, for the wonderful opportunity. There were a lot of things that you said extra that was not in the profile. But anyways, it always it's a humbling experience to listen from you. You are my mentor at college, and you've always been a mentor. Thank you for the opportunity. And as mentioned by Uma sir in the last, my introduction, I am a big fan, and I consider Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar as my mentor. So I started reading about him, knowing things that are not told in history books only in the last 3 or 4 years. So the more I read about him, his life is a great inspiration. His struggles, from the way he began his life and his socio-political background and everything. But he's never complained, and he's always risen through all the difficult phases. And he not only ensured that he had a good life, he ensured that the entire people in this Indian subcontinent were all benefited out of it. To name a few, we all work only 8 hours a day today. Back in those days, the labor laws were not like that. So Ambedkar ensured that all of us have to work only 8 hours, and we were guaranteed a minimum wages. So people from our previous generations, our fathers and grandfathers, will surely appreciate it. And he's done a lot for women. All the basic rights women enjoy today, like the divorce rights, property rights, remarriage rights, education. All those were ensured by him in the Constitution. And apart from that, Ambedkar has done a lot of good things, not only for the people whom they say that he represents. He's done good for all the people across India. And a lot of things are not told to us in our history books. And it was a revelation for me when I started reading about him, and I'm still learning about him. He's written a lot. And more than that, he's a great economist. He holds a couple of PhD degrees in economy. And the Reserve Bank of India, that is the backbone of the Indian economy, was a brainchild of Ambedkar, formulated in 1935. So whatever development we've seen as a country after independence, in wherever we are in 2020, 2021, we owe a lot to Ambedkar. More than the father of Indian Constitution, he was a great economist. His rights for, the laws for electricity that he did, they were all great. So I have a habit of starting any session like this with a quote of Ambedkar. As I said, he's a great source of inspiration. So I thought this particular quote is one of my favorites. He has done a lot of, there are a lot of quotes about Ambedkar. But this one is my particular my favorite, and it is relevant to the topic that we are going to discuss today. Cultivation of mind should be the ultimate aim of human existence. What he means by cultivation of mind is our mind, the part of brain that keeps thinking about us, about families, about good thoughts. We constantly keep cultivating it. He uses the word cultivating just like cultivating or nurturing a plant. So we need to keep working on our brain to ensure that, it keeps evolving over a period of time. So I shouldn't be doing the same thing that I was doing 10 years back. So this is a very great quote. And he says that should be the ultimate aim of human existence. He's not saying that should be, that is something extra. He says that is the basis of human existence. I hope you guys understand the crux of it. With that, I'll move on to the topic for today. So Uma sir has already given an introduction about me. So that's it. And I'm from Madras. As he said, I come from a humble background, single mom, and education is all that we got, as I said. and I've traveled places. I've been to London. I worked in London. I've had enough hardships in the start of my career. So they basically shaped me as a person, and I've had enough experiences in architecture. I work for multinational companies, small firms, big firms, and I had the opportunity to be the CEO of one of the leading design firms in Chennai, Design Cube. I thank Design Cube. I'll always thank Design Cube for the opportunity it gave me, and the learning that happened. So, so that was it. And last year, around November or December, I had the thought of sharing my knowledge of the business. There are a lot of good designers who I feel can do better professionally in terms of doing a business profitable or growing or something. But for some reason, that is not something that is the strength of architects or designers. We are more creative, and maybe that's the reason. And this is not something that is being taught in the architecture schools. Of course, we have a professional practice semester, a subject in the final semester, but that is not enough. And it takes a lot to know it. And the one most important reason why I started Design Startup Hub, or D Hub as they call it, is because when you have someone, a mentor in your family, like it can be your father, it can be your uncle, or it can be anyone in your family circle who's already into business or into the business of construction, or even better, if your father is an architect, then there is someone to tell you, which road to take, where to go, and how to guide and stuff. But most of us do not have that privilege, and we learn architecture because we are creative and we are good in design, and we do it, we get our degrees, we get registered with COA, we work for someone, but we never know how to do it on our own. I'm sure most of you will agree to me. And so that is something that was lingering in my mind for a long time, because I learned it the hard way. I was part of a startup, learned it the hard way. We did a lot of mistakes. We did a lot of trial and errors. And by the time we established ourselves, there were a lot of ups and downs. And it took more than 5-6 years to even, people to recognize, what we are doing. So I thought everyone shouldn't have that. And since it's an uneven playing field, I thought, what can I do about, making it a even playing field? So that was the idea. So there are a lot of better designers than me. So I'm not going to talk about design. And this session is not going to talk about any of my projects, any of the awards that I won. I'm purely going to transfer knowledge on how to start up and how to run a firm successfully. That's all I'm going to talk about. And I'll be sharing experiences, stories from my own, personal life, so that it gives a good example for people to, understand or relate and maybe take inspiration from. So that's it. And we'll be having basically 4 sessions today. What does it take to start up? The first thing is about mindset. It's all in your mind. So I'll be addressing what are the key mindset changes or alterations that every architect has to do before they start up. And again, mindset is not enough. You need a lot of skill sets apart from design skills. So I'll be addressing them. And again, there are a lot of tool sets required to run a practice. When I say tool set, it's not just the design tools like your drafting or visualization tools. There are more to more other tool sets that you need to run your freelancing or your startup firm. And finally, I'll give a step-by-step startup guide, a 12-step guide to start your own firm. And now this is based on my own experience, and I have founded a firm of my own called Space Much, and I am just giving the blueprint of what I am following for my own firm. So it's not something that I took from an MBA course or something. It's my own experience, and it works well for me, and there's no reason why it shouldn't work well for anyone. And finally, I'll be talking of what is happening inside D Hub, the Design Startup Hub. And finally, we'll have a question and answer session. So are we ready to go? Can I have comments, chat? If you guys can type, let's go. All right, thank you guys. So moving on, mindset, it's all in your mind. And I'll just go back to the basic definition of what I called as mindset. So mindset is nothing but how you see, perceive and view the world around you, your belief system and the way of thinking that determine your behavior and outlook, how you'll interpret and respond to situations. So that's all about mindset. So in general terms, people always talk about having a positive mindset. Whatever goes around you, just ensure that you are positive always. Now that's the kind of mindset I'm talking about. but it's not just positive mindset. It's more to it. It has to have resilience. It has to have, a positive outlook. You have to be diligent as well. You have to be vigilant. So there are a lot of things that you need to know before you start up. Now these things are again not textbook stuff. This is based on my experience, based on what my mentors personally transferred to me. So you need to have a very strong mindset to start up or do anything in life. For the fact, forget starting up an architecture practice. For doing anything, you need to have a clear mindset. And before diving deep, why does it really matter to have a mindset? So people often think, can we just not get along with it and get things done? It really doesn't work that way. Again, there's a quote which I personally like a lot. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. Okay, let me put it in simple words. We will be able to see things only what we are looking for already. Okay, let us say there's a crowded shopping mall and a crowded shopping place like T Nagar, and I allow you guys to have a glance at it for, like, let's say 10 seconds, and I call you back and I say, how many red t-shirts did you see? Probably you will not come up with a number. But the second time I tell you, now you have the same 10 seconds, but this time tell me how many red t-shirts you saw. You guys will come up with a number. It might be right or wrong, but your eyes will be seeing only for the red t-shirt. So because your mind is wired to see for the red t-shirts. Now, this is the kind of mindset that I'm talking about. You need to have a clear vision of where you're going or what you have to do. Only then you will be always looking out for it. Otherwise, you'll have a lot of distractions along your life journey. And once the distractions come in, if you lose focus, you'll be off the track. So basically, if you know the final destination, if you're clear on what you want, then whatever distractions happen, your personal life, your social life, your financial life, you will still be clear on where you need to go. Now, optical illusions are a very good example for this. So I just wanted to show a random example. So I'll quickly ask, this is an optical illusion. I think most of you would have seen this already. I got this as an WhatsApp forward. So what do you guys see here? If you can just type. One or two words. What do you guys see in this optical illusion? Anyone? No, it's simple. It's not a tough question. I'm just asking, what do you guys see here? Do you see a color? Do you see this thing, rectangles, lines, Okay. I guess most of you have already seen this. So for a naked eye, the first time I saw this personally, I saw only squares and rectangles and straight lines and gray color and white color and black color. But the moment someone told me how many circles are there, then I started looking at circles. I started looking out for circles, basically. So if you can see, this is a circle, this is a circle, this is a circle. So in between the rectangles, you have a circle. Now this applies for not only this illusion, but anything, for any optical illusion. Now this is the kind of mindset I'm talking about. The moment I say how many circles are there, eyes are already looking out for circles. All the other things, the rectangles, the colors, the lines, they're all blurred out. Our eyes are only focusing on the circle. Now, this is a very important lesson that one of my mentors told me. Until it might look very simple, what's there in an optical illusion and stuff. But the moment you realize that, what your mind has to really think and what you have to achieve, then whatever you do or whatever you come across in life, whatever distractions you come in life, you'll be very focused and clear on what you're looking at it. So this is the kind of mindset that my mentor told me that I should have when I started out, my journey. And again, it's not that simple, right? So there are a lot of things that stop people from doing whatever they want. If you guys can go ahead and I'm sure a lot of people want to start up on their own. A lot of people want to go abroad and do their masters. A lot of people want to do freelancing. A lot of people, want to quit architecture and do something that they like. There are a lot of things that people want to do, not just an architectural startup, anything in life. But there are always constant, things that stop people from. Now we need to address them because most of us, including me, we have a lot of these things that stop us from doing what we want to do. And we have to realize that it's not just me or us personally. Everybody in the world is going through the same thing. Everybody has something or the other stopping them. So we need to address them, understand them, address them, and overcome them to go wherever we want to go. So I'll just quickly run through the things that in general, this was a survey that I conducted. I got around 100 or 120 people to answer. So these were the top points that, people came up with. Most of the people fear failure. They're always fearing like, what if I fail? So that is something you need to overcome. It's better to fail, try and fail rather than not try at all. So all of us have, I've had it until, very recent times. So never worry about fear of failure. You will regret it, towards the end of your life, the chances that you didn't take rather than the chances you took and you failed. And procrastination, I am a master procrastinator. For example, my friend used to say, if there was a Nobel Prize for procrastination, I'll receive it posthumously. So I'm a master procrastinator. We always delay things because the brought up that we are coming from, the education system is always target based. We have our exams, we have our degrees, there's always target based. But in real life, there's no deadline for anything. Like I can start up a company today or maybe 5 years down the line. So as long as there's no deadline, people think to procrastinate. The best way to overcome procrastination is have a deadline and stick to it, and ensure that you get it done. And excuses, we give random excuses to for our laziness, and avoid excuses. There shouldn't be any excuse for us not doing things that we are capable of. Basically, we need not compare ourselves with others, but we should not give excuses for whatever we are doing. And perfectionism, there are a lot of people who target perfectionism and they never kickstart. Okay, so there's a basic 80-20 rule. One of my old friends used to say, if you want to get things done, it takes 20% of your time and effort to get 80% of the work done. And for getting the balance 20% of perfectionism, you need to spend the other 80% of your time and effort. So don't wait for perfectionism. Nothing is perfect in this world. Everything keeps evolving. Everything keeps bettering. So just start if you want to start. Don't wait for the perfect moment or time to do. And you'll get a lot of distractions. Your personal distractions, your family life, your personal life, and your financial life, your social life, and you might go off track. So as I said, if you have a clear vision in your mind of what you have to do, you can separate noise from sound. Basically, you can avoid all these distractions. And comparison, never compare yourself with any other human being. That's the worst thing that you can do to yourself. Never compare yourself with anyone else. You are there to do what you are capable of doing. The only thing that you need to compare is what you achieved today compared to what you achieved yesterday. That's the only yardstick you need to worry about. Never worry about what others are doing. Their opportunities, their background, their socio-political and economical backgrounds are different than yours. So never worry and never compare yourself. Don't do the injustice to yourself. And lack of focused effort, as I said, distractions and lack of focused effort are the same. So there are people who will want to do 3-4 things at the same time, and they will end up doing nothing. So if you have like 3-4 things in the pipeline, put a roadmap, work on one thing at a time, have a focused effort, try it out for like a year or 2 or 3 or whatever considerable amount of time, then move on to the next thing. If you're going to try and do 4 or 5 things at the same time, you will end up doing nothing. So always ensure whatever you do, you have a focused effort of getting the job done. And self-doubt, again, don't have self-doubts. As I said, you are there to do what you can do. All you have to do is compare yourself with your previous day and ensure that you can do it. Understand your capabilities, understand your skill sets, understand your strength and weakness. If you have a weakness, address them. That is fine. If you have a strength, focus on your strength, and never have self-doubt, because end of the day, it's you who's responsible for your life, not anyone else. And weakness over strength, that's what I just said. Always ensure that you understand your weakness, address them, but never focus on them. Convert them into your strengths and focus on your strength. For example, I'm not good in sketching, and I'll never worry about it. I've never worried about it right from my college days, because I was very good at softwares. I was good in Photoshop way back in 2004 or 5. I was good in Studio Max, and I was good in SketchUp. I was good in a lot of this thing that an architect needs. I'm not saying sketching is a bad thing. I always wish I was a better in sketching, but that shouldn't stop me from doing whatever I have to do. I cannot sit around and lose my night's sleep because I'm not good in sketching. So this is just an example. Like that, everybody will have their own weakness, and you will surely have your own strength as well. Focus on your strength. That is more important. And complacency, like we'll be feeling that after you do like 4 or 5 projects and people start appreciating you, you'll feel like, okay, I've achieved everything that I have to achieve. Again, never get complacent, and always have the final goal in mind, final vision in mind, so that that there's miles to go every time you achieve something. feel happy, but don't get complacent. Complacency kills this thing. And these were the 10 things that I had asked in the survey, and these were the same order of survey. I mean, the answers that the people gave. And one last thing that I would like to add here is listening to naysayers. That stops people. Like the moment you decide to do something, and you go tell your friends, you go tell your colleagues, you go tell your family members, you don't tell others in your circle, your social or circle, there'll be always these few people who say no, idu work out agadu, you cannot do this, what if this happens, what if that happens. You know what, you should never listen to them, okay, or follow what they say. You should always have those guys around you, because they are the ones who will actually point out to you on what is the right thing to do. Don't listen to them, do the exact opposite of them. And I don't want to I know everybody will some one or two people would have come to your mind when I just said this. So always ensure you have to not listening to your naysayers, and doing the exact opposite is sometimes going to help you make wonders for you. So this is what I feel stops people. The reason I even told you this is you have to address it, and I'm not a psychologist to help you address it. You have to get professional help. You have to get help from your mentors, elders in your family. But if you have something like this, don't feel that you are alone. Everybody has this, and this is a survey done by 120 people. So a lot of people have these things. If you're having it, just address them, overcome them, and go on your path. And again, how to train your mind.
Sorry to disturb, sir. So hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. The people finding difficulty in getting your English, let it be like a kind of a bilingual. People try to see your chat box.
I don't get it. Uma sir, what was it? Uma sir, what is it? I didn't understand the gentleman's whatever he told.
He, like, someone in chat box is saying talk in Tanglish. I use Tamil. It's something kind of.
Fine, I don't mind it. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah, I would request not to interrupt when I speak. I am not a great speaker.
No issues.
I am not a great speaker. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. I am not a great orator. If you are going to stop.
Sorry to interrupt. It is a kind subject.
Thank you. It's a humble request. Please don't stop the flow. If you have to say anything, let the admin say, or let it be in the chat box. And if I am not able to, if I'm not audible or something, just do it. Don't let me lose the flow. Okay. Thank you. And your point is well taken. And I'll address in both Tamil and English. Okay. The presentation is in English, so I'm just going with the flow, but I'll surely address in English. And whoever it was, I'm not able to see who it is. I'll surely address your thing. Thank you. So yeah, coming back on this thing, how to train your mind. So have a goal, and it has to be smart. Okay. And this is something that I learned only 3 days back. I always thought there should be a goal, and the goal should have a lot of things. But this is something that I learned only 2 days back. One senior mentor of mine, I was having a chat with him, and he said, what is your goal? And I told, I have to help, so many architects, learn the business of architecture. Then he told, your goal is not smart. And I was like, why is he saying that? And what he really meant by smart is this thing. Any goal that we do has to address these things. It has to be very specific. Your goal should be direct, detailed, and meaningful. And it should be measurable. Your goal is quantifiable so that you are able to track your progress. And the same thing, it has to be attainable or achievable. Like your goal should be realistic, and it shouldn't be like, I will go live in the sun for like 5 days. You cannot do that, right? So your goal should be realistic, and you have the tools and resources to attain it. So have your goals within the reach, and it should be relevant, and it should be relevant to your company's mission or your life's purpose or something. It cannot be totally different. I cannot say that my goal is to ensure that I keep all farmers in this country happy. That is something that no one in this country can do, right? So it has to be relevant to the purpose or the mission or the vision that you already have in mind. Then time-based. Your goal has a deadline. I have to get it done in 3 days, 3 years, or 5 years, or 10 years, or 20 years. ஒரு 10 வருஷத்துக்குள்ள முடிக்கணும், இல்லை 20 வருஷத்துக்குள்ள முடிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு யூ நீட் டு ஹேவ் அ டைம். ஸோ ரொம்ப ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்காக இருக்கணும் உங்கள் கோல். இட் ஷுட் பி மெஷரபிள். ஸோ தட் ஒரு 10 வருஷம் கோல் இருக்குன்னா அது 2வது வருஷத்துல நீங்க எங்க இருக்கீங்க, 5வது வருஷத்துல எங்க இருக்கீங்க, 5th இயர்ல எங்க இருக்கீங்க அப்படின்னு யூ ஷுட் பி ஏபிள் டு மெஷர். அண்ட் அட்டைனபிளா இருக்கணும். ரொம்ப கை கெட்டாத இடத்துல நீங்களே ஒரு கோலை வச்சுட்டு டோன்ட் டிசப்பாயிண்ட் யுவர் செல்ஃப், and be relevant to the context. it should match basically. It cannot be நீ ஒரு x directionல போகும்போது அது y-ல இருக்க முடியாது. And it has to be time based. நான் வந்து பெரிய ஆளாய் காட்டுவேன் அப்படின்னு சின்ன வயசுல குழந்தைங்க சொல்றதுக்கும், when you are a professional, நீங்க ஒரு ஒர்க் பண்றீங்க, நான் வந்து அடுத்த 1 yearக்குள்ள I will start my firm, இல்ல firm ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிட்டீங்க, அடுத்த 5 yearsக்குள்ள நான் இத்தனை ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் பண்ணிடுவேன். Or you also say that I will get these many accolades, or I will win these many design awards. இந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது ஒரு என்ன சொல்லனா ஒரு டைம் பேஸ்டான லிமிட் இருக்கணும். Otherwise you will never reach your goal. Okay, I'm also getting a comment saying, sir, please English translation also. I'll sound like Major Sundarajan then. Everything if I repeat in English and Tamil. I'll try my best, guys. I think it is better I stick to majority of English. I hope Tamil Nadu, most of them understand English, so the presentation is in English. I'll try to keep it in Tamil wherever I feel necessary. Okay, I'll stick to English so that I think there are people from other places who don't understand Tamil, so we have to honor their presence as well. Fine, that is the thing. And the other thing, the startup journey, it's like a ship. So a ship, if you have to navigate a ship, you need these 3 things, right? You need a compass that has to navigate you, direction solradhukku, a nautical compass. You need a captain to drive the ship, and you need a strong crew. A captain cannot do anything on his own. Now a startup or a firm is something like this, and this is a metaphor I came up with myself. So the compass is your roadmap to the goal. Na mela sonna illaya, the above smart goal. Your compass is the roadmap. If you don't have a goal, you will get lost. Like I know a lot of people who start with an architecture firm, who go into promotions, then they go into photography, and then they say that I want to do a master's abroad. Now all these things are right, but they really don't know where they want to go, and they keep oscillating. Very aware irupanga. So it's just like a ship. நீங்க காம்பஸ் இல்லாம போனீங்கன்னா இங்க இருந்து கால்கட்டா போனா கால்கட்டா போக மாட்டீங்க. You might end up in Singapore. So have a road map, whatever it is. அது ரைட் தப்புலாம் இல்ல. It's better to not have a it's better to have a road map than not having anything at all. அப்புறம் so the road map should be like 10 years. 10 yearsல நான் எங்க இருக்கணும், என்ன பண்ணணும், 1 yearல என்ன பண்ணணும், break it down. 1 monthல என்ன பண்ணணும், 1 weekல என்ன பண்ணணும், 1 dayல என்ன பண்ணணும், and 1 hourல என்ன பண்ணணும். So everything has to be there. So every day when you wake up, you know your final goal and where you are going to reach, and that will kind of help you stay relevant and stay the course. And the second thing is you need a captain. So captain is the most important thing. Like in your journey, you will be the captain, right? But having said that, when I say captain, it's not just you. You should have a very strong head. You should have a very strong head. Anything can go wrong, but you should not lose focus, or you should not lose your mind. You should stay the course. And always have a mentor, because everybody needs someone to tell them whenever they go wrong. Every human being is going to go through ups and downs. So you always have a mentor. Have a different mentor for professional needs, personal needs. That's up to you. But always have a mentor so that you are not left alone, though you might be the captain. And the third thing is a crew. You cannot do things on your own. So always surround yourself with people with similar thoughts, ideas, and passion. Okay, always surround with people. And if there is a team that is not relevant to your final goal or this thing, kindly move away from the team and create a team that is understanding this and able to work with this. Team is your strength, and internal and external. And when I say team is your strength, it is not about your internal company or your firm team alone. Your external team is also important. Your consultants, your structural engineers, your lawyers, your chartered accountants. So they are all part of your team. So you should be a good team builder to do this. Okay. So these are the things that I wanted to address in terms of mindset. And one final thing before I move on to the next session is always remember this. It's a marathon and not a sprint. Starting up is like a marathon. Most of you would have seen the Tamil movie Edirneechal. So they will clearly talk about how a marathon is more of a mental endurance game than a physical endurance game. I've run a couple of marathons. So every now and then you will want to quit. We want to stop and we want to just quit the race. Startup is something like that. There will be a lot of moments where you just want to let go of everything and go and work for someone or get into something else that is not there. I've faced those situations. I've overcome them. So ensure that it is not like you start panna next year on the set you'll be good. It's a marathon, not a sprint. A sprint is like a 100-meter dash, 10 seconds. It's not like that. So be ready for it. Your mind should be prepared for it. So you should not looking for short-term success. If you get it, it's bonus. But if you don't get it, ensure that you stay focused. And a company is like a child, ஒரு குழந்தை வளர்ற மாதிரி. So the challenges it faces at various stages of growth are different, and you need to have different solutions every time. So a startup company, a freelancer will have a different problem. A startup company will have a different problem, and a grown-up company will have scalability issues. So the problems are different. So every problem, every company is going to face problems, like how a child faces problems during its growth. So again, you have to address them with a different thing, but be wary of the fact that you're going to face problems. That's more important than, saying that, there won't be any problems, and, assuming that everything is going to be a smooth ride. So that's the mindset part. I hope I made sense, and I try to keep it very quick because I'm running short of time already. If you guys are interested in going on to the next session, you can type whatever you want. Say sure, move on. Can I have few comments in the chat box? Move on. Sure. Thank you, guys. So we are clear in the mind. So we want to achieve whatever we want to achieve. We have a smart goal. We are training our mind. We are having a mentor. We are looking out it as a marathon and not a sprint, and everything is fine. So is that enough? It won't be enough, right? So you need to have more skill sets. So what I mean by skill sets is things that you need in your armor apart from your main skill where you're an expert. So this is not applicable only for architecture or design, but it applies for many other things in life. Like you can be a good actor, but if you don't know good business, you'll be, in loss, and you'll be in debts, and you'll be wiped out. You can be a very good artist, but if you don't know how to do business, you're wiped out. The same applies to architects as well. So how do you do anything is how you will do everything. Like, for example, I'm giving this workshop. So I prepared a lot. So this is the same way, this is the same, kind of energy, or this is the same meticulous methodological approach that I follow in my life, in my profession, when I teach people, or when I'm listening to a client, or when I'm at a site. So how you do anything is how you will do everything. So you need to, learn a lot of skills along the way. All the skills you will not know from college, or you're not going to get anything by birth. So you need to ensure that you develop these skill sets. And what I really mean by skill sets is, I always say design is pure gold. Like as an architect or designer, you need to have strong design skills. Okay, that is a given. But you cannot make ornaments out of a pure gold, right? Pure gold, உங்களால ஒரு ஆபரணமோ இல்லாட்டி ஒரு இது ஒரு நகையோ பண்ண முடியாது. You need impurities, right? You need alloys, you need other elements. That is why you have these 22 karat, 18 karat gold where you make jewels with. Otherwise they are too malleable. So you need to have other ornaments that make your gold, worthy of it. Now, what are those ornaments? As I said, I value design, and design is the most important thing. Without design, there's no, you cannot do anything with other, skill sets. Once you have design skill, then you need to have these other things. And I feel these are the things that any architect or any entrepreneur will be needing. Communication. You need to be able to, communicate well with people. Your oral communication, visual, written, it's communication. Basically, sending across an idea from your head to someone else. So you need to be very clear with your communication. Negotiation, you should be able to put your foot strong and say, this is how I will do it. And when I say negotiation, it's not only about the money part, like fees negotiation or vendor get negotiation. No, it's not that. Doing things in your own terms. Like I'll get an advance and do a project. And if I say that's 20%, part payment for the next stage of work, it has to be 20%. And when you say I need 2 months time to do this, you better do it within 2 months. Your client cannot come and tell you, no, இது ஒரு 1 monthல பண்ணுங்க. There you need to negotiate with them. You need to say that I need 2 months to ensure I give you a good design. Now, this is the kind of negotiation skills I'm talking about. If you don't have the negotiation skills, you will end up saying yes to everything that a client or a vendor or other people say, and you'll end up spoiling your name, your work, your passion, and everything goes for a toss. So negotiation is one of the most important things. So whenever you do things, do it in your own terms and conditions. All right. And you should be a good team builder. You cannot do anything on your own. You can be the best guy ever, but without a team, you cannot do anything. And when you're running a business, you better know how to build a team. Otherwise, you're not going to go anywhere. And when I say team builder, like it's not just, hiring people, hiring right talent. It's like nurturing them, teaching them all that you know, motivating them, ensuring they get what they want in terms of money, in terms of recognition or whatever. So you have to build a team, and the team building doesn't have to be within your company. It has to be outside your company as well. Like you need to have external, support infrastructure to ensure that you run your business properly. And you have to be a good leader. So you need to lead the team. So you cannot put together a team and expect someone else to take the mantle and lead the team. So you have to lead them. And when I say lead them, it's not just about delegating work. That's not the thing. You have to inspire them. You have to do it on your own, and you have to ensure everybody follows it. And if there's a problem, you have to address it, own up for the mistakes, and give credit to others when you win. Things like that. You have to be a good leader. And ethics. People will always remember you for your ethics. You have to be always right in what you do, what you say, and how you live. And if you are going to be unethical, when I say unethical, it's like not keeping up a promise. You say that, okay, fine, I'll come to the site and not going there. Or you say that I won't, I'll give you the project to someone and not giving to them and giving it to someone. Or you say I'll give you like 10 options and you don't do it, and you do only 5 or 6 options. So these are all ethics, small things. And to keep it very simple, ethics is something that it's a personal ethics thing. So when you say a word, stick to it. Don't say anything that you cannot stick to. I'll repeat that. When you say something, stick to it. Don't say anything that you cannot do. So that is simple ethics, and you live by your own ethics. Everyone will have their own ethics. And the next thing, do always extraordinary. Always go that extra mile. Like this is enough, or I'm happy with this. They say in the project is podum, in the detailing irundha podum. Site visit phone coordinate panikalam. Never do that. So have higher standards for yourself. Always do that extraordinary thing, or go that extra mile, so that you will achieve greater success in your professional career. And you have to be very sharp with your numbers. And most of the architects, including me, we are not good with numbers. Like we cannot calculate stuff. We cannot come up with thumb rule ideas. So you need to be really strong with numbers, and this comes with practice. Like, for example, you need to be able to quickly tell a person what is the maximum built-up area they can build in their site. Or you need to say that, how many man-hours will it take to complete a project. Or if there's this thing, in the painting, square feet, you should have thumbnails, numbers. Or you have vendor codes from 3 people. You should be quickly able to, read it within the next 1 minute or 2 minutes. You should be able to understand, okay, this code says this is better, this is not better, you need to be able to be very sharp with numbers. It's just in the fees, the calculations, man-hours, your turnovers, your profit. Numbers are everything, and most of us don't concentrate on numbers, being creative people. And you guys should have a focused effort on numbers, and you need to come up with practice. And this comes with practice, sorry. And the other thing, skill set, is learn, and repeat. Okay, so understand this. We are architects and designers, but in a nutshell, it's a knowledge business. This is again a thing that my mentor told me. It's nothing but knowledge. A client doesn't have the knowledge to design and build their own home, so they are coming to us. A client doesn't have the knowledge to file their taxes. They go to a chartered accountant. A client doesn't have the knowledge of law, so they go to a lawyer. So we are in the knowledge business. So you have to keep investing in yourself constantly. You have to keep knowledge coming into your brain constantly. Invest in bringing knowledge into your firm. Okay, I'm repeating it. Invest in bringing knowledge into your firm. You have to bring in external speakers. You have to bring in external consultants. You have to bring in external architects. You should be willing to listen to what others know, the things that you don't know. You should always be willing to learn and repeat. And be up to date to avoid being outdated. ஒரு வருஷம் நீங்க ஒரு விஷயத்தை விட்டுட்டீங்கன்னா the next year you go and check it out, it's all different. For example, I give you a simple example. I stopped using Instagram 4 years back, and 3 months back I just tried to open a new Instagram account. And to be honest, I didn't even understand how Instagram was working now within 3 years. Now this is just a social media profile. Now the same thing happens to everything. The moment you stop getting updated on certain things, you'll be outdated. Like, for example, best example is politics or cinema. If you don't follow them for like 3 months or 4 months, you will lose track. The same way, I mean, guys are following Big Boss and cricket and stuff, which they are passionate about. The same way, when it comes to your business, you should be updated. Otherwise, you will be outdated. So ensure that, and get hands-on and learn things that you have no clue about. Now, this is one of my favorite things. Like, we always fear something that we don't know, right? Or irritate room, if there's a dark room, people fear dark room. So because they don't know what is there inside. Is there a shark? Is there a lion? Or is there gold? We don't know. But the moment you have a small candle Okay. So the darkness is replaced by light, and you're not scared anymore because you know that there's nothing there. That's empty furniture over there. So you're not scared. But until it is dark, you are going to be, having that fear. Now, this metaphor will apply to your knowledge. Like if you don't know something, if you don't know about GST or filing taxes, how about attending a one-day workshop on GST? Okay, you will at least know the basics of it. I'm not saying you can file your own taxes or you can file your own returns, but I'm saying that you will at least understand how it works basically, so that in future, when you talk with your chartered accountant or auditor, you will know what they are saying and how to go about it. So if you don't know something, don't shy away from it. Just go in and try to understand the basics of it. It's similar to that candle example that I gave for a dark room. The moment you're exposed to something, the fear about it goes away. Like for example, I used to have a fear of public speaking. So I've attended courses, I've attended Toastmasters to ensure that I'm a good public speaker. I'm not the best version, but I'm much better than how I used to be like 15 or 10 years back. So this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. If you have a fear about something, go ahead and gain that knowledge. Do a workshop, do a training, watch YouTube videos, go talk to your mentor, something or the other, and move that fear away so that you are clear and you have a clear approach ahead. Now, this is with regards to the skill sets. And the final thing, so your mindset is clear, you know what you have to do, you are very strong, you know your goals, you know everything, and you understand that there are a lot of skill sets that you need to acquire, and don't get overwhelmed by the list of it. Now, all these things, if you honestly ask me, I don't have all the 8 or 9 of them. I honestly don't have. I probably have 3 or 4 of them. The others, I'm trying to work on them. But the moment I know that I lack them, I will at least keep looking out for it. The same way, your eyes see only what the mind can comprehend, right? So the moment I know these are the skill sets that I need to focus on, I will at least keep looking out for these opportunities to, learn them. So that is what I really want you guys to understand about the mindset and skill set. And the third part, tool sets. So tool set is what I'm saying is these are the weapons that help you win the war. Basically, mindset and skill set are important, but the actual work is done by the tool sets. And when we talk about architecture design, the immediate tool sets that we come to our mind, your drafting, or drawing skills, your sketch pens, your T-scale, set square, your manual things. Or nowadays you have a lot of softwares like your drafting softwares, your Photoshops, your 3D view softwares. So those are the tool sets I'm talking about. But I'm going to talk in terms of not design, but in terms of how to run the business of design. So I'm going to talk about those tool sets that you need. And before I go into what they are, always honor your work. Always go for paid tools and software. Don't go for pirated software. This is something that I strongly believe in, because if you expect your clients to pay you well, you should repeat the same thing to the software company or anyone who's providing it. They might be high priced, they might be charging more on an early basis, but that is not an excuse to not pay them. Okay, if you have a high paying software, find an alternative. And if you ask Kumar sir, he'll tell you a list of open source softwares for all the programs. Like you have open source for CAD, open source for alternatives for a lot of better softwares, like all the high price softwares. I don't want to name them, but you have cheaper and better alternatives for them. But go for the paid versions, because you are doing a commercial work. You are earning out of it, selling your skill set using their tool. So you have to honor your work. If you want your clients to honor your work, you better honor someone else's work. You cannot preach what you don't practice. And simple funda on what tools to use: horses for courses. Identify the best tools and platform that you need to perform the business activity. Simple. Never settle for the cheaper one. Never settle for the costlier one. You have to identify what works well for you, what works well best for that particular task, and choose it. Okay. And there are a lot of tool sets, but I'm just going to focus on these things. These are the things that you will need as an architect or a freelancer to run your business or run your freelancing services. Or even if you're working for someone, it's better to have these knowledges that these tools are there. Design tools, I'm not getting into it today. I'm not going to talk about softwares today, about designing tools, because you guys, younger generation, will be much better than us. So I'm not getting into it and spend time on it. Maybe it's for another day. As a freelancer or architect, you need cloud storage. Like long back, we used to have pen drives and storage, but things have moved to cloud storage. So cloud storage is something that you will need when you're running your freelance or practice. So you have Amazon Web Services, G Suite is there, Zoho is there. And CRM is there. CRM is customer relationship management or client relationship management. So there are a lot of tools. So it's basically the journey of a customer or a client. The moment they get in touch with you until they become your paid clients, they are called leads. They are just leads. They are just a name, number, email ID. The moment you convert the project, you back the project and they pay you the retainer or advance to complete, they become your client. Now that is pre-sales CRM. Like there are a lot of tools and there's a nurturing way to do it. I cannot get into the detail. That will be too much for this thing, but I'm planning to address them in the later days. But these are CRM tools that are available in the market, costlier, cheaper versions. But HubSpot, Trello, Slack, Zoho, Salesforce, Pipedrive, these are all CRM tools. They help you in the customer journey in becoming your clients. Okay. And email marketing, emails, I think it's one of the best two-way communication tool ever, and it is very tough to replace email. People think that people don't read emails, but emails are more personalized. If a Facebook post can be seen by 1,000 people, but an email can be read only by you, and it has that personalized touch. And as designers, as our clients expect our personalized touch, so email is a very good marketing tool. So there are tools that help you in sending constant emails in the customer journey. And in even in your running your projects, when you're running your projects, say getting a schedule done or sending it to a contractor, these email tools really help. And I've used them personally, and they're brilliant. Okay. And you need not keep typing out everything every time. Okay. So MailChimp, ConvertKit, G Suite, these are all good email marketing tools. And finance, of course, you need to have a external auditor or chartered accountant. But for your own bookkeeping, people cannot afford to have a full-time accountant. So Xero, QuickBooks, Zoho Books, these are all very simple to use tools. And find an auditor who is well versed with this and use it, and you will not need any extra employee to do this for you. Especially when you're starting up or doing a freelancing, you cannot afford to have these things. And legal and documentation, like signing your document, manual signing is all gone. Like people still do it, but there are a lot of more sophisticated ways where you can sign a document or send a proposal, get it signed, and which is valid in the court of law, like PandaDoc, Proposify, DocuSign. There are many more tools that help you in the proposals, your contracts, your agreements, your work orders. So these are tools that I have seen and I've used them as well. And presentations, again, most of you guys will know much better, presentation skills. Canva is something that I use regularly for making, quick posters and stuff. Prezi is good. Trello is good. Something similar to Canva. They've literally, it's almost the same. And mind maps, the tool that I'm using right now is called Mind Map. It is very good for, presentations. You can actually map my brain, basically the thought process, which the ideas, how I think I'm able to, convey it to you. So mind maps are good presentation tools, but each one has their pros and cons, but you guys can, figure it out what works for you. Productivity, when you're working as a team or alone, productivity matters. So these productivity is not, you can improve productivity by having automated tools or integrated tools. Like rendu moonu tool irukuna, you can integrate them or automate them. So Zapier is one automation tool that I personally love. Trello's Kanban workflow, it is good. Slack is good. Zoho One is good. Notion, Airtable, these are all tools to improve your productivity, personal as well as for your team. I am just giving the names. I do not want to endorse these products or sell them. I do not want to say that these are the best, but I personally used whatever I am showing you right now, and they are good. And these can help you improve your productivity. And the same applies for all the tools that I'm saying. And project management is the task management or scheduling and stuff. You can use simple tools like Trello, Roadmap, Notion, Zoho One. And I'm not saying Excel is not a good thing or MS, projects. They are not bad either. But these are new age things that keep things very simple, very light, and very cost effective. That can help a freelancer or a startup person. And time management. Calendly is something I personally love. So your appointments are really booked on proper. You will never forget an appointment when you book in Calendly. So it's integrated with your email, with your Zoom account and everything. It's really good. And Time Doctor. Time Doctor is again something that you can use to quantify the amount of work your team is doing and what you're doing, how much work goes into one particular project, or what a person is doing. It's not basically, people use it in wrong ways. Management or entrepreneurs, they use it to monitor what the people are doing. But I personally prefer Time Doctor because it helps us understand how much time is being spent on a project. That's it. So that we can, calculate things and do our, calculations based on it. And websites are very important. you can easily do your own website. Creating a website is as simple as doing a PowerPoint presentation. People who have done it might know what I'm saying. A simple YouTube video will let you know how to do your own WordPress website. And there are, things like Elementor, and Wix is a platform where you can make your own website. Instapage is another form of a website. It's more of a landing page thing. But these are tools that help you, reach out to people in marketing. And collaboration, when you work as a team, you need collaboration. Zoom, of course, we are meeting through Zoom for this workshop. Skype is a good thing. GoToMeeting, Zoho Click, G Suite, Gmail Assets, all these things. So these are tool sets that I know, and I have used all of them personally. And these are things that people used to, need to know. I'll probably share the tool list. If Uma sir has the email ID, I'll share the tool list. And this is not the best, but these are the things that I have used, and I find them useful for your own particular, this thing. So I've taken 55 minutes. So the session will be over in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And this is probably the last important part. Okay. So I've talked about the mindset, the importance of mindset, having a clear mind, having a goal, vision. I've talked about skill sets, what all skills you need apart from design. I've also talked about tool sets that you need to run your own freelancing service or your startup or your firm. Now, having said all of this is more of theory. These are more of concepts. These are more of, this thing. So what you have to do, like step by step. So I thought about it, and I thought I've done the same lecture like 2 months back to a very small group of my own people at D-Hub. So 10-15 people attended it. Now this is a refined version, which I think I made it specially for today's occasion, because I just didn't want to, leave the topic with the mindset, skills, and tool set without giving you an action plan of what to do. Okay. So as promised in the poster, this is the startup checklist, and this is the mind map portion. I will be sending a Google Sheet version of it to everyone who has come in today, and you can get benefited out of it. And again, this is not the best, step-by-step guide. This is something that I followed and it worked for me, and there's no reason why it shouldn't work for you. Okay. And the first thing is, what do you want to do? I think I've given enough explanation. So, okay. This step-by-step guide, what I've done is, there are a lot of business terms that people talk, right? Vision, mission, purpose, marketing, CRM, sales, automation, human resources, innovation. These are all jargons, marketing jargons, management jargons, which probably many of us would have heard about it. So I wanted to keep things simple, so that it should be like yaarukku venalum idu puriyum basically. And a business is running is not rocket science. Anyone can become a businessman. But these guys keep different words, terms, and ensure that it is away from us. So I just wanted to break it. I'll explain a simple way. What do you want to do? It's nothing but your vision, mission, and purpose. So when someone comes and asks you, what is your vision and mission? Don't get, panic. You just have to say, what do you want to do? Simple. Okay. And like that, for all the 12 things, I've done the same thing. For example, give life to your dream. So basically, it's nothing but incorporating your firm. Okay. Give life to your dream. Now, I want to do my own practice. Dream. Incorporation of your firm. That is company start pandrathu. The same way, reach out to your potential client. நீங்க உங்க கிளையண்ட்டை அப்ரோச் பண்ணணும், போய் ரீச் அவுட் பண்ணணும். அதுக்கு பேர் தான் மார்க்கெட்டிங். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் த சிம்பிள் வெர்ஷன் ஆஃப் இட், அண்ட் தீஸ் ஆர் த மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் வெர்ஷன்ஸ் ஆஃப் இட். அண்ட் I don't think anyone would have explained this simple, but I tried to keep it simple because I don't understand these concepts, complex stuff. So I wanted to keep it simple. So getting back, what do you want to do with it? So when you want to start up, the first thing that you have to do is unga vision, mission, and purpose, which is nothing but what you want to do. Prepare a precise SOP. SOP na statement of purpose. And adana romba confuse aida vena. What you want to do? I want to design buildings. Simple. Who do you want to do it for? Unga clients yaru? Like I want to do it for clients in Chennai. Simple. And it can be anything. Like you can say that I want to do it for corporate clients. I want to do it for retail clients. I want to do it for project managers. See, for example, a landscape architect can say, who do you want to do it for? His answer can be, a landscape architect's answer can be, I want to do it for the leading architects in the city. Like a landscape architect will want to do landscape design for architects. So architects can hire him as an external. So it varies for everything, but keep it very simple. What do you want to do? Who do you want to do it for? How do you want to do it? So what is your process or your approach towards the design? And where do you want to do it? In the location, that is something. And when do you want to reach that? This is vision, mission, and purpose. So in the answers, in the questions, you answer, you will figure out what your vision or your mission or your purpose of the company is. So I've tried to keep it very simple, and being specific is always terrific. Okay, I will repeat that. Being specific is always terrific. What do you want to do? No, I want to do designs for buildings or for interiors. What kind of designs? What typology of designs? In the various diversifications in our practice. So you need to understand what are the diversifications available first to even select a specialization. And being specific is terrific. I'm saying if you figure out what your positioning is or what your specialization is, the rest all will fall in space. If you're going to say I'll do everything or anything, you will get nothing. You have to be very clear of what you're doing, and this will take time. You cannot figure out what your specialization is. It will take time, and there's a method to arriving at your specialization. I'll probably talk about it in another session. So, but the diversifications available are based on typology. So typology is like, I can be a specialist in residential design, hospital design, school designs, institutional design. That is based on typology or use of this thing. And specialization, again, landscaping is a specialization, and what do you call it? Conservation is a specialization, project management is a specialization. So these are all based on the minute intricacies within urban design, town planning. These are all based on the extra knowledge that you get. And scale, like I'll do only small houses. For example, my company Space Much, I've decided I'll do only small space designs. I'm not going to take up large projects. I'm very clear about it. And you can say I'm going to do a township, and I want to do housing projects. I want to do schools that are having more than a school that has from primary till the secondary. So you can define your scale of projects. Like you can choose the lowest one, the highest one, or the middle one, but you have to choose something. And geography, you can say I want to do in an urban city. I want to do it in a seashore. I want to do only projects that are along the shore. I want to do projects only in the hilly slopes. I want to, like the likes of Kunnur, Kotagiri. You can choose a geography. And scope of work, you can always say that I'll only be a conceptual designer. Okay, you need not do your detailed design or this thing. So there are people who do only conceptual design and they are world renowned. Okay, and you can always say that I'll do only the execution part of it or the detailed design part of it. I'll hire someone to do my concept design. I can do it. The same way how a movie works, right? Someone can direct, someone can write the screenplay, someone can handle the camera. So it's a teamwork. So, but you have to choose what your specialization is. See, doctors do it, lawyers do it. Doctors, you have a heart surgeon, you have an eye surgeon, you have a skin specialist. Lawyers have criminal law, family law. They are all specialists. But when it comes to an architect, what do you do? 99% of us do not have an answer for it. I didn't have an answer for it until recently. So finding a special special purpose or special specialization for your own firm. When someone asks you, there's something called as an elevator pitch. Most of the business people will know it. So elevator pitch என்னன்னா ஒரு 30-45 செகண்ட்ஸ்ல நீங்க உங்களோட பிசினஸ் நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்கன்னு சொல்லணும். அது ஏன் எலிவேட்டர் பிட்ச்னா, when you get into an elevator you have only 30-45 seconds before your floor comes. Let's say you meet a client and he is asking you, what do you do, Shivaraman? Now I should be able to tell within 30-45 seconds of who I am, what my company is, what we do, so that he remembers it. நாங்க 1 hour presentation கொடுக்கலாம், எனக்கு டைம் இருக்காது. To give a good elevator pitch, you need to be very clear of these things. What you do, who do you want to do it for, when, how, where, and what is your specialization. If you answer these questions, you can come up with a good elevator pitch, and this will guide your entire journey of startup or freelancing. Give life to your dream is very simple. Incorporating your firm. So there are various methods in which you can incorporate a firm: proprietary, partnership, LLP, private limited. These are the things that are available. One-person company is there, but I don't think anyone doing a one-person company. Now, which partnership or proprietorship to open is great debate. Architects, according to the CEO Act of 1972, we can do only proprietary or partnership. Okay, that's very clear. We cannot do LLP or private limited. I think there are amendments happening, and maybe they will come in the near future. But until then, if you want to practice the profession of architecture or use the word architect or architecture, you cannot have an LLP or private limited. So don't ask me how all these architecture firms are doing. They are doing it. Okay, let's leave it that. And when you're incorporating your firm, you'll need a GST. So your auditor will help get it done. And it is needed from day one. Don't skip it. Okay, it is needed from day one. You have to file the returns. You need not pay GST, but it is needed. It will help you in getting some projects as well. Sometimes you might lose project because you don't have GST. So get it on the day one. PAN card, you know the stuff. A company needs a PAN card. A partnership has a separate PAN card. A proprietary firm will have the same PAN card as your personal PAN card. You need a bank account. So once these things are there, you are established. So I have all these 4. So I'm established as a firm for Space Mesh. And reaching out to your potential client. Now, this is the most important part. And this is called marketing. Now, what is marketing basically is, you tell the world you exist and what you do. Okay. Simpler soluna, you see these period movies, right? Like Gladiator, Troy, or any other movie, or even Bahubali. These are period movies trying to show how life was before that. So angala market la vandu porul, you have a lot of stuff in the market, vegetables, groceries, artifacts, everything will be there. Now when you walk through it, now the term marketing comes from market. Market is a place where you buy stuff, where sellers are there, buyers are there, they meet, that is market. Now this applies to a vegetable market, stock market, everything is market. So stock market la stock kadaikum, vegetable market la vegetable kadaikum. So the act of telling people what you do is called marketing, and keep it very simple. Okay. So basically you're telling the world where you exist. So in the Kadaterula period films, so what happens there is, when the onions are seen, when the tomato is seen, you don't need anything else. People see it, they want it, they buy it. The buyer see it, the seller gives it, pay money, you get it. But what happens when you all go into a room, like ellame fixed room, closed room, we will not be able to make a difference between whether it is a saloon, or whether it is a grocery shop, or whether it is a cloth shop. துணி கடையான்னு தெரியாது. அப்ப என்ன பண்றோம்னா, வெளியில ஒரு போர்டு வைப்போம். ஓகே, சிவராமன் வெஜிடபிள் ஷாப், சிவராமன் க்ளோத் ஷாப், சிவராமன் வாட் எவர் ஷாப். ஓகே, ஸோ இது பேசிக்கலி நடந்து போகும்போது அந்த மார்க்கெட்ல பீப்புள் வில் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், இந்த கடையில இதான் கிடைக்குது அப்படின்னு உள்ள வருவாங்க. Now this is the first initial historical thing of marketing as far as I know. Okay, this is marketing. இதுதான் basic concept, and if you understand this, you will understand the difference between marketing and advertising. As architects, we are not supposed to advertise according to COA, because it's an unfair practice which will put the people with privilege or people with all the means above us, and we will the smaller ones will never get project, which is a good thing. But there's a basic difference between advertising and marketing. Like having a visiting card is a part of your marketing. When you meet someone, you hand over a visiting card, my name, my number, my email ID, this is my company, this is what we do. That is part of marketing. Now like that, in the digital age, having a website is marketing. You have a website, that is like your name board outside your company or your shop. The example that I gave you, having a website is your marketing thing. Having a social media page like Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn is a marketing thing. So basically you're telling the market what you do, who you are. Okay, so you need to have them. And advertising என்றது என்னன்னா, you instead of having it on your own thing, நீங்க ஒன்னொருத்தரோட பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ல போய் காசு கொடுத்து இதை இங்க இம்போஸ் பண்ணு அப்படின்னு சொல்றது அட்வர்டைசிங். Okay, so the history of advertising, newspapers-லாம் வரும்போது, newspapers, people are interested in reading the news, right? Sports-ல என்னாச்சு, politics-ல என்னாச்சு, religion-ல என்னாச்சுன்னு people started it. So 300 years back, if I'm not wrong, 1700, first newspaper got published. It went to every home. Okay, so someone got the idea, எல்லார் வீட்டுக்கும் இது போகுது, முதல்ல நான் மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு வரவங்க கிட்ட மட்டும்தானே வந்து I had my board and they were buying it from me. பக்கத்து ஊர்ல இருக்கவனுக்கு இது நான் இருக்கேன்னே தெரியாது, அவன் என் கடைக்கு வர போறதே கிடையாது. பட் ஆனா அவனுக்கு அந்த தேவை இருக்கு, அவன் வேற எங்கேயோ போறான். ஸோ இப்போ நான் இவன் இந்த நியூஸ் பேப்பர்காரங்கிட்ட காசை கொடுத்து கண்டென்ட் எங்க இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் இருக்கோ, நியூஸ் இருக்கோ, அவன் வீட்டுக்கே போச்சுன்னா, now he will know that there is a saloon 5 kilometers away from me. I have been all my life going 15 kilometers away from me for a saloon. Now this is the first instance of paid marketing. I was told this by one of my digital mentors. Basically I learned it only 1 month or 2 months back, the basic difference between advertising and marketing. Now what happens is, people often misunderstand advertising and marketing. Now having this is very clear, because நிறைய பேர் வந்து Facebookல ஒரு போஸ்ட் போட்டா இதெல்லாம் unethical practice marketing அப்படின்றாங்க. It's not. Marketing is not bad. Like telling people what you do is not bad. Wherever you go and represent your name, your profession, that is marketing. You go to a social club like a Cosmopolitan Club, MRC, that is marketing. You go take part in forums, meets, debates, or panel discussion, that is marketing. Any architect who does is basically marketing himself. He's promoting himself. So adalame on it's not unethical, that is ethical. So you guys need to understand what is marketing. Paid promotions is bad, never do that. And positioning, the second thing, positioning is what I called about idu enna soluvanga the specialization, like where you want to see your position. Like the best example is with the air conditioners. All of them are air conditioners, but you will have few air conditioners that brand themselves as silent ones. Some will brand themselves as, energy efficient ones. Some will say they give clean air. Now all the air conditioners do the same thing, but it's positioning. They are positioning themselves in the market so that they capture the mind of people. Okay, so when you pay long bills, you go there and you kind of, it is fixed. Like, okay, clean air na in the brand air conditioner da vaanganum fixed. So that is positioning. So for example, nammaloda profession la, if you are doing only eco-friendly projects, vernacular projects, you are telling people that I do only this. ஓகே, இதுதான் இப்படிதான் நான் வந்து ஈகோ ஃப்ரெண்ட்லி ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் தான் பண்ணுவேன், என் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் வந்து இப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு நீங்க சொல்லிட்டீங்கன்னா யுவர் பொசிஷனிங். ஸோ நாளைக்கு ஈகோ ஃப்ரெண்ட்லி ப்ராஜெக்ட் வேணுங்கிற கிளைண்ட் உங்ககிட்ட தான் வருவாங்க. ஓகே, அண்ட் தட் இஸ் வை பொசிஷனிங் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். பொசிஷனிங் இஸ் த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் ஃபார் மார்க்கெட்டிங். If you are not an expert in something, you are not an expert in anything. So you have to tell the world what to do. இது ஒன்னொரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லுவாங்க. I always love this example. Soap. Everything is made of glycerol. It's all the same thing. Lather varum, dust pogum. You mean you lose dirt. But each soap has a branding value, right? Hammam is like a family soap. Synthol, Liril is like that fresh soap. 20 years ago, there's a teenager girl taking bath in waterfalls. Only the girl keeps changing, but the idea of Liril never changes. So this again, one of my business mentors told me. And you have soaps like for sports people, like Lifebuoy. I love that soap. Kareyave kareyadu. And you have soapless soaps, like Dove is a soapless soap. Children's soap. It's all soap basically. But the positioning is what matters. People will remember you for what you are. Now take a moment and think about all the famous architects that come to your mind. They all had a positioning. Be it Laurie Baker, be it Charles Correa, or be it even Hafiz Contractor, Zaha Hadid, Franco Gehry, F.L. Wright. They all had a specialization. And knowingly or unknowingly, that is different. But as architects, we need to know that we need to do this. Okay, this should be there in your mind right from day one. Because once you don't do that, I learned it very late in my career. So positioning is very important. Website, as I told, website is your marketing asset. You need to have a proper website, and there's a method to do a website. There are a lot of architecture websites which are not serving the purpose. Website is basically to attract people when they search for something in Google. When they search for how to do interior residential interiors in Mylapore, so they should be able to come to my website. That's it. If my website is not catering to it, now on the where project I'm saying Mylapore because I live in Mylapore. If I'm saying something else that is not relevant, I'm having a award that I won in Delhi, I have projects done in somewhere else, and I'm not solving the purpose. So website is basically to attract clients to your this thing. So understand the purpose of website and do. And I am planning to take workshops on how a website should be, how all these marketing things should be done basically. Not today, sometime later. Social media pages, Facebook, LinkedIn, these are all marketing things. Again, there's a purpose. You have to do it properly. And networking forums, that is very important. Idella another digital networking, word of mouth networking is very important. Like people should recommend you, only then you will gain trust and people will come to you. So this is very important. There are a lot of networking forums, Lions Club, Rotary, BNI, other NGOs. You can be part of any networking forum where there are people from varied fields. So you get a chance to tell what you do, okay, and who you are. So you are creating an opportunity for people trusting you. Because if you are going to a Rotary Club and you are doing charity, obviously people will know that you're kind-hearted, right? I'm just saying. So people, similar kind-hearted people who will be other businessmen where they want to do charity, when they have a project, they might give you. And this is the only reason why people are there in Rotary, Lions Club, BNI and everything. They might have a lot of other reasons saying that we are doing good to the society, charity and everything. But underlying purpose is this. This is also a focus. I'm not saying, I'm not belittling everyone, part of, doing charity works. But this is also one of the main reasons. And people are there part of, clubs like, Cosmo Club, Andhra Club, Mylapore Club, all those things. These are all networking forums. And when you network, your network is your net worth. There's a saying like that. So the more number of people the more chances of you getting business. And organic marketing can never be dealt with. Unknown people, when they hear about your work, they will come to you. So that for doing organic marketing, your work should speak. Like if you're doing one eco-friendly resort in Kotagiri, you might get a call from Coorg, who would have traveled to Kotagiri, who would have seen your resort and who would have called you and said, I like your resort. I asked and they said you designed it. can you design my resort for you? This has happened to us, and I'm just saying. So this is organic marketing, and only your work will help you that. And switch on the limelight. So what I'm really saying about switch on the limelight is keep yourself active in a lot of forums and social work and networking works. Like for example, be part of IAA, be part of IAED or whatever, the interior designer forum, whatever they have. Be part of other platforms or forums that you're, this thing. So you keep on the limelight on you. So if there's a panel discussion, go take part in it. If you're being invited in a college to take a workshop, go take part in it. So that, people remember you and have the limelight on you. I do it. And whenever I get an opportunity, I try to address people. So that is something you do to reach potential clients, or in other words, marketing. Have a process to convince clients. So, okay, marketing mudichachi, there's a client who's come to you, he has a project. Now you need to have a process to convince clients, right? So that is called sales and CRM. Marketing management terms, that is called sales and CRM. Sales and nurturing. You cannot hard sell to anyone. You have to nurture them. You have to listen to them. You have to understand their requirements. You have to understand the client. Send emails, send videos, send posts. Your presentation process should be very clear. What are your terms, conditions? You should be very clear. That is sales process basically. And CRM is like client okay advance project. They are not going to give you the project the first time you speak with them. CRM is follow-ups on time, customer relationship management. So you have to do proper follow-ups on time, sending reminders, because they are not only going to ask you, right? It's a business. They'll be asking at least 2-3 people. So they have to remember you to select you. So ensure that, you do follow-ups on proper time. That is CRM basically. So na mala CRM tools and solely HubSpot adala mention pannirpa. So that's basically that. And have documents in place. Write documents, nothing but your legal documents. Either legal, nothing but your proposals, your agreements, and your work orders. So proposal, you have to say what is the project, what is your scope of work, what is the fee, what is the terms and conditions of the fee, what are the exclusions that you won't do, so that the client doesn't have misunderstanding. So that is a proposal. And again, there are a lot of proposal documents that are new age. Word file proposals have much more things to do than just black and white, data. So that is why I said PandaDoc is a very good proposal tool. You can explore and understand what it does for a proposal. And agreements, your agreement between you and the client, between the client and the contractor, between you and the vendor, the work orders you give your vendors, all these are legal documents. You need to understand them. You have to have a documents in place. Now, இதெல்லாம் வந்து உங்களுக்கு இவங்க ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஒரு லாயரை பிடிச்சிங்கன்னா அவங்க ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. Now you need to know the right lawyer to get it done. Like you can guide them, but the legal terms அவங்க உங்களுக்கு எழுதி தருவாங்க. They'll do it. And be the best in what you do. இதை வந்து ஆப்ரேஷன்ஸ்னு சொல்லுவாங்க பிஸ்னஸ் டேர்ம்ஸ்ல. ஸோ நமக்கு ஆப்ரேஷன்ஸ் என்னன்னா premises. நம்ம premises is one of our operations where we sit and work. Now that has to be in place when you start up. Your design, you need to have a design process when you establish your firm. Your presentations, your detailing, your costing, your project management, your quality control, இதெல்லாம் part of an architecture or interior design operations. லைக் ஒரு சாஃப்ட்வேர் கம்பெனி கிட்ட போய் ஆப்ரேஷன் சொன்னீங்கன்னா வேற மாதிரி இருக்கும். அவங்களும் கிளைண்ட் ரிக்வயர்மெண்ட்ஸ் வச்சிருப்பாங்க, ஸ்டோரி போர்ட் ஆர் ப்ரோட்டோடைப், யூஐன்வாங்க, வாட் எவர். தே ஹேவ் தேர் ஓன் ஆப்ரேஷன். த மேனுஃபேக்சரிங் ஹேஸ் இட்ஸ் ஓன் ஆப்ரேஷன். நமக்கு ஆப்ரேஷன்ஸ் இஸ் திஸ். ஓகே, அண்ட் யூ ஹேவ் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் திஸ் பேசிக்லி. And all these should be decided when you're doing, okay, or in the course of first 6 months or 1 year. And are things happening as expected? சரி, எல்லாம் பிளான் பண்ணியாச்சு, டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு, ஆப்ரேஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு, கிளைண்ட் வந்துட்டாங்க, ப்ராஜெக்ட் இருக்கு, எல்லாம் கரெக்டா நடக்குதா அப்படின்னு தெரியணும்ல. பிகாஸ் திங்ஸ் கோ ராங் wherever they want to go wrong. இதுதான் வந்து குவாலிட்டி அஷூரன்ஸ் அண்ட் குவாலிட்டி கண்ட்ரோல்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஓகே, இது வந்து கீப் இட் சிம்பிள். கான்ஸ்டன்டா மானிட்டர் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருங்க. உங்க டிசைன் ப்ராசஸ், எக்ஸிகியூஷன் ப்ராசஸ் மானிட்டர் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருங்க. Don't be complacent. As I said, people fail, systems don't fail, but ensure people follow the systems. Now I strongly believe in these 3 dialogues. You always need to have a system. People should follow the system. And வெறும் பீப்புளை மட்டுமே நம்பி ஒரு நல்ல ப்ராஜெக்ட் மேனேஜர், நல்ல டிசைனர், இதை நம்பி நான் என் ஃபர்ம் நடத்தோம்னா you will be at loss. Okay, you always need to have a proper system. You need the right people to follow the system as well. So both go in hand, but people first. So இதுதான் வந்து குவாலிட்டி அஷூரன்ஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, and quality control. And be nice to people. That's a good thing to practice. இதை வந்து ஹியூமன் ரிசோர்சஸ்ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So empower the team always. Always keep your team happy. Teach them, pay them on time, give them incentives. Keep your vendors happy, pay them on time. Don't get commissions from them. Don't eat into their income. Treat them with respect and give them on time work, and they will keep you on priority. Client management, keep your clients happy. they are going to come up with hundreds of changes, but tell them in a polite way why you cannot do them and keep them happy. So இதெல்லாம் வந்து human resources, and you need to know these things to run your practice. And be aware of numbers, as I said earlier, accounting and finance. Hire a good chartered accountant, bookkeeping. So உங்களோட invoices, income, expense, profits இதெல்லாமே வந்து accountingல வரும். Be very clear of it, learn it. I am actually planning again, one of my workshops in future will be targeting these numbers. Basically architects க்கு accounting, expenses, profit calculation, fees எப்படி calculate பண்ணனும், இதெல்லாம் I'm planning to teach whatever I know basically. And finance ன்னு வரும்போது plan your finances. Accounting-க்கும் இதுக்கு என்னன்னா, accounting is more of documentation, finances is handling these things. So plan for incentives and bonus for your employees, that is very important, or your teammates or your freelance consultants. Investments on the business, plan for it. If you don't plan, you will never invest, and if you don't invest, you will never grow. Financial planning for present and future. இப்போ மட்டும் பண்ணாம future-க்கும் சேர்த்து பண்ணணும். And contingency things can go wrong, like how corona swept away 2020. Plan for contingency. Now this is what they call finance and accounting. And 3 more things. I think I've taken more time, but 10 more minutes I'll finish it off. Looking for new heights. Okay, so இது என்னன்னா, ஓகே எல்லாமே நல்லா போயிட்டு இருக்கு ஒரு 1 year 2 year 3 year, பட் அதுக்கப்புறம் போர் அடிச்சிடும். இது இவ்வளவுதான், நான் என்னதான் பண்ணேன்னு தெரியாம போயிடும். Established firms will understand what I'm saying. 4-5 yearsல இருக்கும்போது you need to have a strategy for future. So you need to have a game plan. You need to reinvent the wheel now and then. You need to be very quick to adapt to change. Survival of the quickest. Okay, ஸோ இது வந்து நீங்கள் எப்பயுமே கான்ஸ்டன்டாக பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும். நான் இதை தான் வந்து இனோவேஷன் ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜின்னு வாங்க, இனோவேஷன் சொல்லுவாங்க. யூ நீட் டு பி கிளியர் வித் கேம் பிளான். பிளான் ஏ, பிளான் பி, பிளான் சி எல்லாமே இருக்கணும். ஸோ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், சடனாக ஒரு செக்டர் ஆஃப் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு வரல, ஆர்கிடெக்சர் வரலன்னா யூ ஷுட் பி ரெடி டு டூ ஒன்லி இன்டீரியர்ஸ். ஆர் அது வரலன்னா பிஎம்சி பண்ண ரெடியாக இருக்கணும். ஸோ யூ நீட் ஹேவ் அ ப்ராப்பர் கேம் பிளான். அதர்வைஸ் யூ வில் நாட் சர்வைவ். யூ வில் நாட் சர்வைவ் த டெஸ்ட் ஆஃப் டைம் பேசிக்லி. அண்ட் ரீஇன்வென்ட் த வீல். எல்லாத்தையுமே எல்லாருமே பண்ணுற மாதிரி பண்ணணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. யூ கேன் டூ திங்ஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட்லி விச் ஒர்க்ஸ். பண்ணணுமே பண்ணி எதுவும் you should not சொதப்பி basically, but you need to keep reinventing the wheel now and then. And survival of the quickest. Something happens in the world economy or the Indian economy or the policies or something, be quick to adapt to change. இவன் இப்படி மாத்திட்டாங்கன்னா அதை பத்தி வைன் பண்ணிட்டே இருந்தீங்கன்னா, if you're going to worry whining about it, there's no point in it. You have to adapt to change. People are not going to change things because you don't like it, so you have to be very quick in adapting. Prevention is better than cure. So always follow the statutory compliance and taxes. Like always play by the rule book, have peaceful sleep. Taxes, pay on time, have a good auditor, GST, income tax, whatever. Statutory compliances, now when you grow as a company, you will have like PS, PF, ESI, labor laws, workmanship law. இதெல்லாமே இருக்கும். Follow them. Just follow them. It's much easier to follow them than not following them and getting into this thing. And again, statutory compliance வரும்போது softwares also. Get a paid one. If it is very expensive, find a cheaper alternative. Alter your design process based on the cheaper software that you have. Don't go for unpaid one. Everyone has done that in a student life, and our culture is like we software pay பண்ணுமானாலே surprise ஆவாங்க. But you have to do it because see, when you grow and when you're growing as a team, and when you get to work with a lot of clients, like we worked with UNICEF, Taj, ITC, Nestle, Mahindra. These are brands like you don't want to do work for them with the pirated software, right? So we've been using original software for a very long time, and that adds value to it. As I said, honor your work. Don't go for private things and pirated things and get caught in unnecessary issues. I've had a lot of my younger colleagues, like juniors or people who started up after I started up. They'll call me, and at least every year, at least 4 or 5 people call me and say they have a software audit from something, and they lose sleep. Adukku you can better invest in the money and focus on your design and your company. That will be my advice basically. And give back to the society. As a company, as an organization, as an institution, always give back to the society. Idha vandu CSR, corporate social responsibility nu solluvaanga management terms la. Nothing but giving back to the society. So teach students when they come for internship, teach them as much as possible. And I find it sila firms la vandu internship students வந்தாங்கன்னா அவங்க போர்ட்ஃபோலியோ பயங்கரமா they'll like scrutinize it with a magnifying glass. You really not do that, because you all should remember how good a student we were when we were students. So whoever the student is, if they have the right attitude, just hire them and teach them. They are coming there to learn. So you get with them a stipend and teach them. So na generally வந்து I will never ever look for quality. Of course the work should be decent enough. ரொம்ப ஷாபியா இருந்தாலும் we cannot work with them. it should be decent, but don't look for like best you just take students, teach them, and turn a cat into a tiger. That will make you happy. And conduct knowledge sharing sessions to outsiders, just give it back to the society, and have social responsibility. You can do whatever you want when you say you have social responsibility. Now, these are the 12 things that I strongly feel that anyone needs to do when you start up. And this is, I won't say this is the only way to do it, but I did this and it's working well for me. And I have no reason why it shouldn't work well for anyone else. And the last part, so Uma sir would have told about Design Startup Hub. So I am a practicing architect. I have my own firm, Space Mush LLP. But apart from that, I'm starting this hub because I wanted to give it back to the society, as I told. So I know business, I know numbers. I have converted more than 300 projects on my own. If a client walks to me, there's very less chance of them walking away from me without giving me the project. There can be varied reasons, but one reason will not be like they didn't like me. I know how to convert, and I know how to get design projects done. I know how to convert, get the execution projects done. I've done a lot of projects. I've managed larger teams, and there's a lot of business knowledge that I have, which I learned on my own experience. And I know how to make profits ethically without getting commissions, without getting, cheap money. I know how to do it. So my idea is to teach people basically this knowledge, and I'm going to monetize the thing, DHub. I'm being very vocal and candid about it, but I'm not going to want to make crores by looting from younger people. I want to keep it sustainable so that I don't lose monetary interest. So the idea is what we are doing at Design Startup Hub is right now I'm just starting out. I might know all of these things. Being a good player and being a good coach is different. Like for example, Sachin Tendulkar was a very good coach. Very good player, but not necessarily was a good captain or a coach, right? So I'm a good player, but I'm learning to become a coach. So right now I'm having, free one-to-one sessions with people, architects. Every day morning, I start my day with an architect, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So far, I've talked with like 35 people in the last 2 months, and it's been a wonderful journey. I learn a lot by their interaction. Now, these are the feedback that I've got from my community. I have a small WhatsApp group. My Facebook page is there for DHub. I haven't put any content. I've just started up. But this one-to-one sessions is I'm just trying to understand what the pain point of startups are so that I can deliver better. So I know a lot of things that I told in my presentation, but I cannot go on talking about things that people actually are not interested or not worried about. So my idea of doing a one-to-one, these free one-to-ones, is understand what the point or the pain points of people and learn on how to deliver it in a proper way. So I'm planning to do free one-to-ones till March. Now, these are the kind of feedbacks I have, and I'm very good with my work. And DHub, there's a Facebook page. You can go search for it. And LinkedIn also, people are giving me recommendation. Now, most of them, like half of them are known to me. They would have probably been my intern students, or they are working somewhere, they know me. But half of them, the comments that you see here, some of them are unknown to me. Like I'm meeting them for the first time on a Zoom meeting. So I understand what their problem is, whatever business is, and whatever business problems they have, whatever issues they have. I teach them or I give solutions on how to do it. Now, this is a free session, and this I'm doing it to learn for myself, to learn what is happening with the startup arena in the architecture and interior design society. So at the end of this session, I'll be sharing the link for that. You just have to click and you can book a free one-to-one appointment with me. I can do only one person a day. So already I think till Jan 15th, I'm kind of booked, and I cannot do more because I also have my own practice running and I have my own team working for me, my own clients. But I'm planning to do it till March for free. And probably after that, I'm planning to do workshops, paid workshops, very cost-effective workshops. But whatever I told you about, for example, I'm talking about marketing. If I'm talking about marketing, the 2-day workshop, I'll tell you all the concepts of marketing. I'll teach people, what are the tools you have to do and how to do it. I'll give a hands-on experience and do it so that you need not worry about marketing for your firm for the rest of your life. Okay. The same way, how to do your proposals, how to do your accounting, how to do your project management or scheduling. So whatever I know, I'm going to do. And these things are, as I said, I keep investing on myself as well. Okay. So I keep investing. I have a lot of mentors who teach me. I take a lot of courses as well. So basically, I'll be sharing stuff that I'm learning from outsiders and learning from my own experience. So this is a link that I'm posting it here. You can go and book a slot if you want. If you want help with your startup, I will request the students not to do so because I really don't have anything, I'm not the best person to teach about, teach to students basically. But if you're working and if you want to start up or run your own firm, I can do it. So I'm just sharing the link here, and you can go ahead and book a session with me based on availability. And apart from that, I am planning to have bi-weekly masterminds. I started in October, but I had to stop it because I was doing my own startup. But I'm planning to have every 2 weeks one session where I'll be sharing knowledge, whatever I know, on any topic that the team wants. And a series of 2-day workshops that I'm planning. These will be paid ones. People are free to join it and do it. And again, I'll limit it to 20 or 30 people, because if it's an online workshop or a live workshop, we cannot have more than 100 people. And I'm also planning, I won't be the only mentor. I'm trying to create a platform where you bring the best of people. Like, for example, I can bring a chartered accountant who will talk to people about how to do accounting and filing and stuff, so that you are clear in doing your business. I can talk to a lawyer. I can make one of the leading lawyers in the city to talk to you. I can make other guys like a website developer or a social media digital marketer, or a person who's a expert in project management, or a person who's in design. I'll teach everything except design in my design startup hub or D hub. And basically it's a separate knowledge sharing platform. We'll have a separate platform for myself in future, where it'll have videos, worksheets, podcasts, blogs, all related to the business of architecture and interior design. Now, this is what is happening in the D hub, and this is what I want to do for a very long time. And I want to positively influence as many people as possible. You can mail questions if you have to this email ID that I'm going to share after the question answer session, since I have short time. And if you want to download a checklist, so basically what happened was I have done a checklist. The checklist is what I gave you here, but I'll be giving you a refined form of a checklist, so that if you want to start your own architecture or interior design practice, you can just fill this checklist, and you will basically get going. And if you want to refine it or validate it, you can book a one-to-one and get it done with me. And all these are free, and I'm not going to charge till March. And I'm not going to charge for these one-to-ones at all, basically. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope it made sense, and I'm open to feedback.
Yeah, Shivaraman, it's a very good session. I feel the participants will be delighted to know all these things. One thing I just want to highlight this: when we started talking about this session, so the thing is like Shivaraman is having a good background of attaining a height with Design Cube, and his experiences through various avenues has brought him a rich experience in architecture and interior design. So he wanted to share this back to our architecture fraternity, our
Voice is not
our
audible.
society. So he wanted and make it reach to the people who are all in need to develop
Umar sir, I think your voice is breaking, sir.
unethical way. So, but being an architects and other professionals, say like our other stakeholders, like many people who are all helping us in all the formation of our company and our career and our firm to get on. So all these people we need to get to know, and we have to form a very good firm as well as a firm company to practice this architecture. So that we made this session, and I feel like it's a wonderful input what you have given, Shivaraman. And sessions like the people who have any important question you can ask us now, and we have very less time. We will go with another 15 minutes for question and answer session, and as well we are going to share that a handout what Shivaraman is mentioning. So we'll share this to all the people, and Shivaraman as well. I will share you all the mail IDs and the numbers whatever we received so far, and we will send to you, because almost like
Sure.
nearly 200 people registered, and 99 to 100 people only could be able to accommodate here, and remaining people are watching in YouTube. The YouTube live is also on. It's going on now. Okay.
Okay.
So once we are giving the details to them, definitely they will also come back. Okay. Right now, I think all of the people are listening in the other medias also. So the other thing is like, yeah, Pushpak, definitely you will get it. Okay, so I will share all the contacts of Shivaraman's mail ID and other things to you guys, and you can fix up your one-to-one contact with Architect Shivaraman, and you can ask all the doubts, and as well you can take the guidances towards your issues or any problems you are facing in your career of professional practice, architecture professional practice. So that we can do. Anybody is having very crucial question, you can ask it now.
I,
Please go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, you can type in the chat also if you really want to be addressed now. I see like some of you asked for the WhatsApp number. Definitely, I'm going to share it to you guys. This is the first webinar of its kind. Divya Shri, thank you. And it's crystal clear by Vijay Vinithan. Thank you so much. Afila Banu would like to attend more sessions. Yeah, Shivaraman after March is going to give some more workshops. Definitely, we are going to do it. And thank you from Mukesh Manan. Yeah, fine. Yeah, meticulous presentation. Thank you. Geeta Venu, very nice presentation. Thank you. And Pushpak would like to attend more, so definitely you can contact him. He will send you the details as well. We will do the things. And people, you can copy it from our chat box, the forms, feedbacks, okay, so that we can distribute the certificates to you. And as well in the chat box, Shivaraman has shared his mail ID as well as the web link also. You can take it from this, okay, from chat box.
I've shared two things, sir. One is the one-to-one booking slot, Calendly. So people can book one-to-one. I'll request only people who are working and who want a startup to book, not students. As I said, I am not the best guy to guide students. If you are looking to start up or do freelancing or anything related to business of architecture, I can help you with. So book a thing responsibly. And the second thing is I've the feedback form, I mean the checklist anuparadhukaga, I have to send it through my own email marketing thing. So
Yeah,
அதனால the form இருக்குது, is the landing
so that
page.
I'll share you all the details to you.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah,
cool.
fine.
So that is that. If they leave their email ID and name and they tell me like if they're a startup or freelancer, I'll be sending it to them. The mails will reach them by this evening.
Okay, fine. Actually,
And
architect PRS
there's a comment.
has given
There's a comment to me by
us.
architect Shivakumar PRS. Is he that PRS Shivakumar from Madurai?
Madurai, yeah. He's one of the leading architects from
I know,
Madurai. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your regards. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. If he's there, I would like to thank him. Like he sent me a private message.
Yeah, as well. Yes. And good initiative. Thank you so much, guys. Okay.
Actually, sorry to interrupt. I have a question, Chakravarti. Like, I want to ask some questions.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, actually, this question to Sivaraman, like, not everyone has an access to mentors, right? Like now we got through you, like I have an access to you this webinar, but what about the people, those who don't have an access to mentor, how they will get an guidance? Like many people don't know what this mentor is all about. Like how they get this access? Like what do you tell them? Like,
okay, see, it was part of my presentation. We cannot do things on our own. Like like for example, Uma is one of my mentors. Now, whenever I've called him like many times in the last 10 years, for various reasons. ஏதாவது டவுட்னா சரி இவர்கிட்ட கேட்டா ஒரு ஆன்சர் கிடைக்கும்னு தெரியும்ல. ஸோ ஹீஸ் பின் மை professor and I'm in his good book, so எப்போ வேணாலும் அவர் கால் பண்ணலாம். There are many other guys, like I have a person called Balaji Subhash Chandran. He's an architect, touchstone decon architect. I have Valliyappan, one of my very early mentors. He taught me ethics. அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க. லைக் whenever I want to reach, I reach. பட் என்னன்னா people sometimes we are disassociated. லைக் என்னோட ஜூனியர்ஸே நிறைய பேர் வந்து when they speak to me the first time, உங்ககிட்ட எப்பயோ பேசணும்னு நினைச்சேன், ஆனா நீங்க பிஸியா இருப்பீங்கன்னு நினைச்சேன் அப்படின்வாங்க. It's never like that. People are always willing to help people. Like the moment someone asks for help, not only me, anyone will want to help. So it is about you to choose who your mentor is. And as I said, having a mentor is good. I have a professional mentor. I have a socio-cultural mentor. So things that I don't know, things I need guidance in, I go and reach out to him. Like like it is not college or school where you're spoon-fed everything. So you create a mentor, and I realized that there is lack of mentor, because in my practice in the last 13 years, there have been a lot of situations where I felt lonely. Like there'll be you cannot have a sleep peaceful night. There'll be issues with your clients, projects, vendors. There are a lot of things. Fund flow issues. So you never had a platform to do it. So I thought like I'm 10 years experience and I cannot obviously help the senior firms than me, like 15, 20 years, 30 years established firms, they won't need me. Or even firms that are like established for 5-6 years, they won't need me. But startup phase is a very struggled phase. First 2-3 years, there's a saying that if you start up and you cross the first 3 years, then you're set. Okay. So on the phase, there's a lot of mistakes people do. There should be someone who's saying that in the road எடுக்காதீங்க இது தப்பு, இது எப்படி பண்ணுங்கன்னு சொல்றதுக்கு ஒருத்தர் இருக்கணும். And that is what I told. If your father is an architect, if your father is or your mother is an architect, or if your father or mother are into any business for that sake, you will have that guidance. But here in Tamil Nadu, most of us come from working middle class families with very big dreams, and there's no one to guide us. Okay. So I thought why can't I do the bit that I know? That's all. So I am ready to mentor any number of people who want, basically. So that's why D Hub. And of course, as I said, I'm not doing it as a charity. I'll be doing it as long as I'm able to do it. And when I conduct workshops, I need money to do it because I need to put in time. I'll be doing it. But as I said, I don't want to make money from D Hub. I'm a very great architect in terms of numbers and doing profitable business. I have my own firm, so I know how to make money there, and I'm just doing it to ensure that it is sustainable, basically. Thank you,
Oh,
Kaula Bader, for asking that question. Thank you.
okay.
Yeah, and I would like to address one thing here. Architect Pierre Sukmar has put up a message that he is also mentoring for a very long time. Okay, so he can also be reached out. His number is also shared in the chat box. And one thing for the previous question a person asked, okay, it's like we are starting it now. So let us be like it is not the idea of everybody getting enriched. At the same time, everyone will become mentor a day. So it's like we are making a delightful practice to everybody. So it's something like we are sharing this not to the entire society, at least to our society. Then later on we can make it on. Yeah, I think it is something like we need to reach out. But now what we happened is like we developed a platform. Okay, so that platform can be reached out very easily. Now Shiraman has come out with this platform and he can be a mentor now. So tomorrow, okay, once you get the enrichment, definitely you will become a mentor to some other people. Okay, another junior most people. Okay, so now what will happen? It will become a chain. So somebody can reach directly to their super seniors, to their unknown super seniors. So all these things can happen. Having a good relationship in any other, I mean, we don't see as a what to say like any other I mean what to something like
I think
Voice is breaking out. Um,
enmity or my I mean the what I seen our profession a lot. Yeah, we enjoy our profession a lot and we share our profession a lot. So that sort of initiation only this one is. So I think it's a time to thank everybody behalf of Shivaraman and to behalf of the organization everyone. I thank everyone and have wishing you a very good rocking architecture in the future. So in any road, we should see buildings designed by architects should be seen very properly, prominently. So that's the answer for our profession. Okay, once our council president also told like, okay, it should be made like people should come to you. It's not that I market and people has to getting awareness about architecture. They should see the road and these are all the buildings done by an architects and they should come to us. Okay, so that is the idea that we are making. So hereafter I feel like this movement will start go and hit the roads, every buildings made by architects. Okay, so that's what we wanted to do. So we have to create mentors of ourselves a lot, so that our junior fraternity will not lost in the game. So I feel like many people going for a low wages jobs and they don't know what to do. So we need to guide them a lot. So whatever I gained, I have to give it back so that my profession will be it will be come onto line. So that's what I'm just looking on. So Shivaraman also we are trying to.
so,
Okay.
Uma sir,
Yeah,
sorry,
thank you so much. Thank you everybody.
a
Yeah, sure.
lot of people are asking
Please.
recorded version of this session or a YouTube link. So you'll be mailing them the
It's
recorded
in
session.
YouTube. Sure, sure. It's in the YouTube. We will do it. Okay. Yeah, we'll share it to everybody. All right.
So that answers.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Once again, I thank you
thank you,
everybody.
Uma
Thank
sir,
you,
and
Shiva.
I thank your institution as well for giving me the opportunity, and thanks to all the students for patiently listening. I took more time as always, but I hope it was useful, and looking forward to more interaction like this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Varun. Thank you so much. Prabhu sir, we'll stop.